Understanding the art of brewing craft beers. From selecting the best grains, hops, and yeast, to nailing the precise brewing process, temperature, timings, and all, there's a world of craft and precision that goes into each pint of craft beer. Each brewery has its secret methods, innovative techniques, and passion, which is then bottled as unique, flavorful craft beers. The growing trend: flowers in craft beer brewing. As the craft beer industry grows, it continues to push boundaries, relentlessly seeking out the new and unusual to tantalize the taste buds of its diverse audience. A trend that's been picking up pace is the use of flowers in brewing. That's right, from elderflowers and hibiscus to lavender and even dandelions, a whole bouquet of flowers is making its way into the craft beer brewing process. For centuries, flowers have been used to make beverages like teas, wines, and meads. They bring not only vibrant colors but a range of subtle to potent flavors that can transform the drink's taste profile. So, it was only a matter of time before innovative brewers began experimenting with flowers in their brews. The purpose of this exploration. In this video, we will embark on a sensory journey through this blooming landscape, exploring different craft beers brewed with flowers, understanding what each flower brings to the beer, and why this trend is capturing the hearts of craft beer aficionados worldwide. The history of brewing beers with flowers. Dipping into the annals of history, we find that the incorporation of flowers in brewing is by no means a novel concept. In fact, it's a practice rooted in the very origins of brewing itself. A flashback to ancient brews. Long before hops became the norm in beer brewing around the 9th century, a diverse array of ingredients was used to balance the sweetness of the malt and to add flavor and preservation qualities to the beer. This concoction was often referred to as Brewed, and typically included various herbs, spices, and indeed, flowers. In particular, the use of flowers and plants such as heather, bog myrtle, and yarrow was prevalent in the brews of Celtic and Nordic societies. These flowers not only provided the necessary bitterness but also lent distinctive aromas and flavors to the beer, making each brew a unique experience. Charting the evolution, from past to present. While hops have dominated the brewing landscape for the past few centuries due to their excellent preserving properties and the crisp bitterness they offer, the rise of craft brewing has witnessed a resurgence in the use of flowers. Today's craft brewers are constantly seeking out novel ingredients to set their beers apart in an increasingly competitive market, leading to a renaissance of sorts for floral brews. However, the use of flowers in today's craft beers differs quite significantly from the gruits of old. Instead of using flowers as a necessary component for bitterness, modern brewers use them to add unique flavor profiles and enticing aromas to their beers, enhancing the sensory experience of each sip. This modern use of blooms is more about augmenting the beer's character, making each floral brew a work of art in its own right. A closer look at the brewing process. Before we can fully appreciate the role of flowers in the brewing process, it's essential to first understand the traditional brewing process. Beer brewing is an art form, one that balances exact science with creative flair. Traditional beer brewing process explained. The traditional brewing process involves 4 main ingredients: water, malted barley, hops, and yeast. Tea all kicks off with a step known as malting. Imagine, if you will, barley grains having a bit of a soak in water, then being given the chance to sprout a tad. After this, they're whisked off and dried in a kiln. Now you might be wondering, why all this fuss? Well, this merry dance is how we get the enzymes we need to transform the starches in the grain into sugars that can be fermented. There you go, brewing magic at its finest. The malted barley is then steeped in hot water through a process called mashing. The heat activates the enzymes in the barley, converting the remaining starches into sugars. This creates a sweet liquid known as wort. The wort is then boiled, and hops are added for bitterness, flavor and aroma. After boiling, the wort is cooled and yeast is added, initiating the fermentation process. The yeast consumes the sugars in the wort, producing alcohol, carbon dioxide, and additional flavors. Once fermentation is complete, the beer is conditioned, filtered, and carbonated before being packaged for sale. The role of flowers in brewing. When it comes to brewing with flowers, the process diverges from the traditional method at the stage of boiling the wort. Instead of relying solely on hops, brewers add selected flowers to infuse their unique flavors and aromas into the beer. The timing of adding these flowers is crucial to the final flavor profile. If added early in the boil, the flowers contribute to the beer's bitterness while their aromatic qualities are largely lost. On the other hand, adding flowers later in the boil or during fermentation, a process known as dry flowering, akin to dry hopping, allows the beer to absorb the unique aromatics and delicate flavors of the flowers, without significantly increasing the beer's bitterness. Thus, the use of flowers gives brewers another palate to play with, enabling them to create uniquely flavored beers that stand out from the crowd. Brewmaster's techniques. Brewing beer with flowers is a complex endeavor, requiring a deft hand and an intimate understanding of how different botanicals interact with the fundamental ingredients of beer. This section offers an inside look into the intriguing methods employed by brewmasters to achieve their unique floral brews. Techniques and processes used for infusing floral flavors. Just as the choice of flowers is vital, so too is the technique used to infuse their flavors into the brew. Many brewers favor the dry flowering method, which, much like dry hopping, involves adding flowers during or after fermentation. This technique allows for the maximum extraction of floral aromas and flavors, without adding undue bitterness. However, others may choose to add flowers during the boil, particularly if they are aiming for a more subtle infusion or wish to incorporate some of the flower's inherent bitterness into their brew. Some adventurous brewers experiment further, creating flower tinctures or syrups to be added into the beer at different stages, thereby layering the floral notes in more complex ways. In all these techniques, the brewmaster's skill and creativity are paramount. Each decision, from the choice of flower to the method of infusion, contributes to the uniqueness of the final brew, a testament to the artistry involved in brewing craft beers with flowers. Types of flowers used in craft beer brewing. Just as an artist uses a palette of different colors to create a masterpiece, brewmasters have a variety of flowers at their disposal to craft their unique brews. This section explores some of the more commonly used floral ingredients, as well as a few lesser-known botanicals that are making waves in the craft beer scene. Roses, a classic floral ingredient. Roses, known universally for their intoxicating aroma, are also a classic ingredient in beer brewing. Whether it's the petals or the hips, roses lend a delicate floral note and a hint of tartness to the beer, creating a wonderfully balanced brew. Hibiscus, tropical touch to the brew. Hibiscus flowers, with their vibrant color and cranberry-like tartness, are a popular choice for craft brewers looking to impart a tropical touch to their beer. Often used in wheat beers or sour ales, hibiscus flowers give the brew a captivating ruby red color and a refreshing tartness. Elderflowers, creating a subtle, sweet flavor. The sweet, slightly musky scent of elderflowers makes them a delightful addition to lighter beer styles. Brewmasters often use elderflowers to create subtly sweet and highly fragrant brews that are as pleasing to the nose as they are to the palate. Chamomile, the soothing ingredient. Known for its calming properties, chamomile imparts a soothing, apple-like sweetness to beers. Typically used in Belgian wits or blonde ales, chamomile contributes a soft complexity that can round out a brew beautifully. Lavender, a dash of fragrance and flavor. Lavender is another floral ingredient that's gaining popularity in the craft beer world. Its distinct aromatic profile, at once floral, sweet, and slightly herbaceous, makes it a compelling choice for experimental brewers. Used sparingly, lavender can add a fascinating layer of fragrance and flavor to the beer. Unique floral choices. While the above-mentioned flowers are relatively common in the craft beer scene, many breweries are venturing into the world of lesser-known botanicals. Flowers like marigolds, dandelions, and even yarrow are finding their way into brews, as brewers experiment with different flavor profiles and explore the vast possibilities of floral brewing. Each unique choice expands the boundaries of traditional brewing, propelling the industry into exciting new territories. The science behind floral beers. Crafting a beer that effectively and deliciously showcases the delicate nuances of flowers is both an art and a science. A deep understanding of the chemistry behind floral flavors is crucial in achieving this, which is what makes the exploration of floral beers so fascinating. Understanding the chemistry of floral flavors. Flowers, like all plants, contain a variety of organic compounds that contribute to their unique aromas and flavors. These compounds include essential oils, terpenes, and phenols, each contributing different aspects to the taste profile. Brewmasters must skillfully manage the brewing process to ensure these delicate compounds are not destroyed by the heat, preserving the flower's essence in the final product. Moreover, the interaction between the floral components and the beer's base ingredients is also important. The sugars from the malt, the bitterness from the hops, and the floral notes must harmoniously meld together, creating a balance that does not overshadow any single element. How floral beers impact the beer market. The introduction of floral beers to the market has undoubtedly created a buzz. Craft beer enthusiasts are always on the hunt for unique, flavorful experiences, and floral beers have certainly delivered in this regard. The use of flowers not only enhances the sensory experience but also taps into the consumer's desire for natural, botanical ingredients. This has resulted in an increased demand for floral beers, encouraging more breweries to experiment with flowers in their brewing process. Furthermore, floral beers have opened up the market to consumers who may not typically enjoy traditional beers. The novel and often more subtle flavors appeal to a broader audience, including wine and cocktail lovers, contributing to a steady growth in the beer market. Lastly, it has also fostered a greater sense of creativity and innovation within the industry, as breweries strive to create unique, flavorful brews that stand out in an increasingly crowded market. The future of floral craft beers. The future appears rosy for floral beers, with craft beer aficionados and breweries alike savoring the refreshing and innovative flavors these brews bring to the table. From brewmasters' predictions about the next big thing in floral beers to the commercial scope discussed by industry experts, let's dive into what the future might hold for this blooming sector. Brewmasters' predictions, the next big thing in floral beers. Conversations with several prominent brewmasters suggest that experimentation with new flowers and brewing techniques will continue to be the trend. The potential use of flowers that are currently less common, such as marigolds, calendula, and even dandelions, hints at an exciting and vibrant future for the industry. Moreover, many predict an increase in the number of seasonal floral beers, matching flowers to their blooming season for fresh and distinct flavors. As consumers become more conscious about sustainability, using locally sourced, seasonal flowers can add another layer of appeal to these craft beers. The commercial scope, industry experts' opinions. Industry experts foresee floral beers as a growth area in the craft beer market. The consumer trend towards artisanal and local products coupled with the ongoing demand for novel, flavorful experiences paints a promising picture for the future of floral beers. Additionally, as the craft beer market expands globally, the incorporation of regional flowers into local brews can offer an exciting way to represent local flavors and cultures. This opens up new avenues for breweries to explore and makes way for truly diverse and global expressions of floral beers. While the market for floral beers is currently niche, the steady growth and increasing interest from consumers suggest that floral brews may soon become a more mainstream offering in the craft beer industry.